Okay, hello. Awesome. We're gonna be up in just a little bit, you guys. Okay, hello guys. So we're back in PNG tuber form today because I am going to be doing a second Handcam stream to help wrap up my SMP TimeShadow build because I am way too excited to just let it be as is. So, where we last left off, we finished up on the jet, and I did also get my little sandwich baggie that I contained all my little time robo bits and pieces with me. But yeah, we just got the main jet body done, and all we gotta do is wrap up on the robot legs and body. And you guys will probably be really interested to see how it transforms, because y'all are not prepared for how cool it is. But how is everyone on this fine, lovely Sunday? I know it's a lot earlier from when I usually stream, but I do have pizza coming in a couple hours, or I'll be getting pizza in a couple hours. You get what I mean. But yeah, I got all my runners all sorted out. Gotta make sure everything is spick and span. Yeah, there's the little shadow blades. Okay. But, oh, we are gonna have fun tonight, baby. But I can't wait to chat with you all on what's been going on. So, I went through work today. It was actually pretty good. We finally passed the spring break rush. So, thank heavens to Betsy that's all over. Because that gave me a full meltdown and a half. Hmm? Ooh. Well, I think I know who will probably be raiding later today, because it looks like my friend Rika just got her gaming PC in, and she's been getting back into streaming. So that's going to be fun. Oh yeah, speak of the devil, I will be joining her and her fiance Emmy for some Deadlock later this week. I think it's going to be either Tuesday or Saturday. Actually, let me go double check. But yeah, I'm going to be joining Emmy and Rika for a few games this week. So I'm going to be joining them on Marvel Rivals on Monday. I'm going to be joining them on Tuesday for Deadlock. I'm probably going to be streaming that as well, but we'll see. And then for Thursday, I will be joining them with Overwatch. As much as I want to join them, but right now I really want to finish this kit, goddammit! Priorities, I tell you guys. Priorities. Oh, man. You know, now that I mention it, my love of giant robots is like every neurotypical guy's love of football or monster trucks. I'm really glad I didn't grow up with any of that shit. Because I do not associate myself with toxic masculinity, and that is why I identify myself as a demi-boy these days. Blame my upbringing for my father on that one. But, nonetheless, we'll be starting in just a couple minutes, everyone. Let me make sure... Let's see... Here we are... Do 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 do. Okay, need to get everything through. Gotta get my mouse pad up and clean up all the dirt and stuff from last time. Just gotta get everything sorted out, and we will begin just a moment, alright? How am I gonna do this? Okay, so it's time for us to start anyways. So let's get to changing the category. The category did change, right? Yes, it did. It did. So let's go wrap this up, shall we? So, since this is a hand cam stream, we get my Lily Morgaine mousepad to watch over us and stare into our souls. And here is the progress that we had from last stream, which was the whole Shadow Winger time jet stealth. You get the picture. And we made a lot of good progress on this. Though it looks like this sticker here is a little bit misaligned, but oh well. We can live with it. Because yeah, we closed up on all this, and we're ready to start the assembly for the legs here. How am I gonna do this? Hang on. Ah. Okay, Time Robo, I'm gonna need you to hold this. There we are. Not much, but it's better than nothing. So, looks like we're gonna need the H runner first to start. Oh, actually, I want to start by taking care of these pieces for the Time Robo Shadow Alpha and Beta combinations. I'm gonna snip here, and then snip here, and this will be the little crown piece for Time Robo Shadow Beta Alpha, and then we'll, here we are, and pop. This is the crown piece for Time Robo Shadow Beta. Hey, how's the building going, Samemaru-san? Hi, Star Singer, welcome on in. We actually just started continuing on our build, so as you can see, we got the jet bit of the TimeShadow done at the moment. And remember what I told you guys on my last Handcam stream where there were actually little minifigures of the Time Rangers that you had? Well, here they are. I like to keep them as is, because I tried inserting them into the cockpits and they don't like to stick very well. But yeah, you get all these cool little minifigures from the SMP Time Robo. So, red and blue are in their native plastic colors, while green, yellow, and pink are all painted. You can actually kind of tell, because red and blue are a lot more glossy than or shiny than the green, yellow, and pink are. But yeah, everything's going pretty good so far. We just started right now, and I should show you guys also the Time Flyer. I actually painted this myself because I did not want to go with just a bare piece of plastic. I painted every little detail on this. I painted the little lasers here. I painted this whole bit here, as well as painted this whole part silver. And the top part here is in black. So yeah, I'm actually really happy with how this all turned out. Hang on. And here it is in the Flyer Magnum formation. I gotta say, it looks a lot better than the bare piece of plastic that we had, didn't we? That it came in. I mean, woe is me. Okay, so... But how are you today, Star Singer? Hope you've been well. H, where art thou? Bingo! Found it! So let's see, we need H1. So it's this piece right here. Here we are. And let's not forget a little sanding stick and friends as well while we're at it. Yeah, we're just gonna put this over here. Get the X-Acto knife and the sanding sponge while we're at it. So that way we can sand down the peg a little bit. Just gotta polish this down a little bit. There we go. There we go. And everything else looks pretty good. Yeah, sorry. I was doing a highlight from a stream that just ended not so long ago, but you're doing fine nonetheless. That's good to hear. I haven't been on Voop Chat all too much lately, because lately I have been busy lately. I mean, I was available on Wacky Wednesday, and I ran into a Wild Kitsune and Gordy. That was actually my first time running into Gordy since, like, what, November now? And he was just in awe with my live 2D model. I would have done it today but unfortunately I do need the webcam for all my cool Handcam stuff. So, but it will be back sometime Tuesday when I'm going to be streaming Deadlock with Rika and Emmy. Here we go. And I'm getting a lot better at... Yeah, so it's important to not cut these pegs. That's understandable, sorry, Mama. Arigateo. Much appreciated. And plus, I had my birthday about a week ago, and that was a lot of fun. I did pummel party with my friends, and needless to say, friendships were pummeled, and it was a lot of fun. And just yesterday, I had a Super Battle Golf collab. That was a lot of fun. And I'm really looking forward to playing that game some more. So let's see. So it goes in like this. Yeah, happy late birthday. Thank you. I turned 34. I mean, I know I don't sound like I'm 34, but trust me, I am 34. I am very, very honest about my age. Like, you have no idea on how many comments on how young I look. And if you're wondering what the mouse pad is from, it's from my friend Lily Morgaine. Here we are. I'll be 4 years older. Ooh, awesome, awesome. Sweet. And we got some chill lo-fi music going on for you all. Let's see. Here we go. And soon we'll be able to put in the foot like so. Excellent. Joints. In other words, you're both Gen Y. Ooh, you're a millennial too. Nice. Fellow millennials for the win. It feels like all my VTuber friends are Gen Z these days. So let's see. We need I-13. So looks like we're going to have to put in the two-step snap that I like to do. So sometimes parts are casted with the little gate material sticking out. So what we do is we cut them up right from the gate, and then we will take out the nibs here. Here we go. And then cast off any excess plastic that we have. Okay, so it goes in like this. Hold on. Something needs to be done. Oh dear. Not today, X-Acto knife. Not today. Gonna have to try a lot harder than that to get that out of me. So let's sand down these a tiny bit. There we go. It was a bit of a difficult fit, but we managed to do it anyways. So let's see, what's next? G11. Next up is G11. And now I'm sounding like I'm a bingo caller all of a sudden. Eh. Woe is me. There we are. G11. Okay, we gotta be carefully putting this out because I don't want this flying into the shadow realm or the carpet jungle or whatever it is. Believe me, this has happened with my past kits before. I remember I was working with like a very tiny piece for the Master Grade Gundam Double X, and I ended up losing it, and I just ended up having to, you know, get it from Mecha Parts Guy and more. That's where I go to for all my Lost Gunpla parts. Unfortunately, mini-plot parts are not as easily distributed. Here we are. Ooh, that was a very nice firm snap. And it didn't sound too stress-inducing either. Okay, next. We need C10, C11, and B6. Okay, C and B. Right here. Okay. First, we need C10, which is this piece right here. Careful not to snip anything. Here we are. Perfect. Okay. B6. There we are. Found it. So I could see the brony connections with you, Star Singer. I could totally see the brony connections, because I remember that was pretty big back when I was in, what, early community college? God, I feel old right now. You know, this isn't the first time that I've seen anthropomorphic horse girls become popular. I mean, look at what we got nowadays with Uma Musume. And I became a Simboli Rudolph simp ever since. You know, I did not expect to see myself fall down this rabbit hole, but I did. I still ended up into this rabbit hole, and holy fuck. Here we are. We got that. Oh, that reminds me. I should show you the Simboli Rudolph card that I got from someone at a meetup last weekend. And look at it. It's all glittery, and I got my girl Rudolph. Ain't it pretty? I have to give love to my pun queen. Anything for her. But every time I browse the vendor hall at my local conventions, it's like, where the fuck is all the Simboli Rudolph merch? Like, I see a lot of gold chips, Haru Raras, I mean, for obvious reasons, Ogre caps, and a bunch of other stuff. Whew. That was close. Okay. So it goes in like so. Okay, we're gonna need to sand down the tip of this peg here. Here we go. And I am definitely looking forward to doing Super Battle Golf with friends more, because that game is, no joke, a lot of fun. Even if it is very friendship rage-inducing. But then again, golf as an IRL sport is very rage-inducing. Because God forbid, trying to get that whole ball through the hole. Okay. Be careful and boop. Yeah, when I was little, your sister watched the pilot episode of Gen 1 My Little Pony on a VHS. Kinda how I suddenly recognized where T-Rex design in Gen 4 Season 4 finale came from. Oh, alright. Alright. I see where you're going here. You know, this also reminds me of when I watched Transformers G1 VHS from like my grocery store's video rental store. Do you guys remember back... Hold on. Anyway, do you guys remember back when grocery stores used to have video rental sections to compete with Hollywood Video and Blockbuster, any of the local video stores? Because, yeah, I remember I used to get all my rentals from the grocery store back in the day. What's next? F8. Where is F8? Okay, so that's going to be at the very bottom. Yeah, and that was how I got introduced to all the other Transformers characters, such as, let's see, Reflector, I saw Ironhide, and of course the OG Optimus Prime. Because all I grew up with was Optimus Primal before I watched that VHS, and I don't really remember what episode I watched, to be honest. I remember there was a scene where Optimus was struggling to transform into robot mode for a little bit, but that's all I know. So, you know, this does give me a question to share with you all. To anyone that ever grew up with video rentals, what was the craziest movie or video game that you guys ever rented? It's kind of a little hard. Okay, so these little stop bits need to be facing downward for when we insert it. Hold on. I need to sand that down a tiny bit. But I have, you know, rented so many kinds of wacky games I grew up with. The craziest game, though not a rental, the wackiest game that I've ever played was Mort the Chicken on the PS1. It was such a mindfucky game. Because you were playing as a chicken, trying to rescue all the farm's chicks from evil sentient cubes. And there was all these weird cutscenes. That whole game was a fever dream. And at Game On Expo, I even got to see the original creator, Ed Anzanita. And he also made games like Echo the Dolphin, just to name a few. Let's see. F14. Here we are. And I even got to ask him, like, did the Pizza Tower developers really ask you to put Mort the Chicken in? He said, yeah, I mean, as long as I get a code for the game. So that was pretty cool to chat with him a little bit about the beauty that was Mort the Chicken. Like, I remember coming across that game at Costco with my parents once, and I don't know why. I guess I'm just attracted to mindfuck type games, you know? C17. I know what we need. C17. Here we go. Let's see. I need to shave this down a teeny tiny bit. Here we are. There we go. And then insert this like so. And ooh, this is actually some pretty damn good part separation right there. Okay, so we need to do it with this side pointing out towards us. Hang on. Okay, I'm actually going to put the X-Acto knife up here to prevent it from rolling around. Because I got a feeling if I leave it here, it's going to be accident just waiting to happen. F16, F1, and F2. Okay. Where's F16? Oh, this is the... Yeah. Okay, this is F16 right here. This is the part that we wanted. Okay. I'm gonna shave it down just a teeny tiny bit. As for the pegs, those can easily be sanded. Here we are. And then do the white bit for a little bit. Okay, so next we need to insert the wheels in, which are F1 and F2. But we do need to be careful with these. We do not want to lose these. Here we are. Okay. Do they need to be inserted a specific way? No, it doesn't look like it, thankfully. Okay, so we got one wheel in. And then... gently... Bingo! And then insert this. Hold on. Did I put it in the wrong way? I don't think I... Yeah, we could probably roll it around a little bit to reduce the friction of it. Here we go. Okay, next up. So, according to the instructions, the wheels should be facing outward like so. There we go. Now we got a really nice little leg forming. Okay, what's next? F3. It's going to be this piece right here, and looks like we're going to need our trusty Mecha Silver in just a little bit. Okay. Because normally the instructions want us to use the stickers, which are these. However, we are not going to be using the stickers for these. And I have my trusty metallic silver marker here from Display to help with that. And you'll see why I love these things. Yep, very good paint application. Doesn't have very many issues. Oh, I swear by these display markers so much. Let's see. Here we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Not quite finished yet. There we go. Starting to look pretty good. Now I just need a toothpick to get rid of the excess paint that we have. And then carefully scrape all this off, little by little. Okay. Oh, I think I missed a spot right here. Bingo! There we go. Hold on. And they are very, very versatile. Much more so than the Gundam markers are. Because you get a much more consistent and even flow of paint, which means smoother paint application. Well, it doesn't apply to all colors, but yeah, it is what it is. Nice. Okay. Oh, messed up a little bit, but oh well. That's the good thing about the Spays, though. They are very forgiving markers to use. So if you ever make a mistake like that, just whip out the marker, apply a fresh coat, and voila! We're almost done with this part. Oh, there's another scrap part piece here. Whatever. There we go. Excellent. Again, scrape off the excess stuff. And we got ourselves a very nice coat of silver right here. Yay! Okay, next up we need F22 Mr. Burns. Excellent. Yeah, exactly like that. F22. It's this piece right here. Yeah, because I'll admit, I can be a perfectionist when it comes to this stuff. There we go. You know, while we're at it, I think it'll be a little bit easier to paint the other ones on the runner, which is kind of how I like to usually paint. So that way, we don't have to do as much. And the Mecha Silver is a very nice color here. Okay. Gotta make sure the paint is consistent and even. There we go. Yeah, same goes with your art. Hi, Frank. Welcome, welcome. How are you? Yeah, we're just doing a chill Gunpla Handcam, Mini-Pla Handcam stream, I should say. I am really glad I got a new silver marker, because the last one I had very poor silver application, where I had to do like multiple coats just to get it on. It was frustrating, to say the least. There we go. Nice, nice. Sweet. And we'll go and correct all the little error parts in a little bit. But for right now, our goal is to get all of this put on as soon as possible. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, sounds like it was running out of color. Yeah, but I'm okay. I slept a lot. I did some Garden Warfare 1 with friends tonight. Yeah, that's kind of what happened. The one I had, I think, was an inert error 1 or something like that. Because normally these display markers have really good color application. It's really nice and even, as you can see here. Like what I'm doing right now. Yeah, because it has happened to a few markers I've had from Display. Nothing on Display themselves, but, you know, sometimes not every marker could be good right out of the gate. Now let's get a toothpick, and then even it all out a little bit, just little by little. Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse that these markers can be very easily removed as they are applied. You know what they say, it's the law of equivalent exchange, like they say in Full Metal Alchemist. Hang on, let me get my eraser too while we're at it for some large-scale stuff. All that. Oop, a little bit of a scrape, but no worries. Like Bob Ross says, there are no mistakes, just happy accidents. But we can also get like a Q-tip with some rubbing alcohol to get rid of some of it. As a matter of fact, that's what I might need. Hang on. Let me get another cotton swab and get my rubbing alcohol, and I'll be with it in just a little bit. Okay, I'm back. Let me just need to coat the cotton swab in rubbing alcohol. Try it out a little bit, and then... Okay, I'm back, guys. And let's get to getting the excess paint off, shall we? Yeah, rubbing alcohol is your best friend here, people. Very, very good at getting rid of the excess bits here. There we are. Nice and even coat. Oh, there's a part I missed. Oh, sleight of hand there. There we go. Hey, hello, back. I'm Starsing. Oh, God. I'm gonna have a lot of competition for pun lovers, dad joke lovers, aren't I? Well, to that, I say I welcome the competition. Okay. Here we are. We're just about done with the paint work here on these parts. Just need to get some paint off these. There we are, nice and clean. Well, it's starting to look a little bit cleaner. It wasn't until the semifinals of a cleaning competition I realized that you might, in fact, be washed. Oh, you, Frank. Oh, you. Just gotta evenly and slowly and evenly apply the paint so the coat is nice and even and consistent. Okay. Alright, let's get the cotton swab out again. We're gonna put away the silver marker for now. Oh, looks like I may need it out again. Yeah, because there's a little bit here that I kinda messed up on. Okay. Next, we need to slowly make sure. And have it. Oh. Oh, shoot. I messed up a little bit. Again, thankfully, these are very, very forgiving markers to use. So if you ever mess up, just paint it over and ta-da! It's as if nothing ever happened. Okay, we're almost done. There we go. Okay, looks like we're gonna need the toothpick to get some of these parts here. They're a bit stubborn to go through. Okay, I think that's good enough for now. And let's do this one as well, just for good measure. Okay. There we go. Okay, now we need to get the instructions all propped up again. Okay, so I had F22 here. Now we need to get F20 and then G3. Okay, it's this piece right here. Okay, so we need to do it like this, and the piece propped up like this. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Okay, this might need a bit of sanding. Thank goodness we got our sandpaper on hand here for these hard-to-reach areas. So yeah, always important when it comes to gunpla or mini-pla. Take your time and sand the pegs down, because you don't want the sockets to be you don't want the joints to be way too tight that they're hard to handle, or too loose. Okay, that ought to do it. I hope. I hope, I hope, I hope, I hope, I hope. There we go. And it fits perfectly now. Next, we need G3. G. Let's see. Found it. G3. Bingo! Found it. Sweet! Okay, so has to be with Okay, so this should go. Okay, so it looks like it's one of those pieces again, eh? And this is why you always read the instructions, people. Because you may never know when some pegs will be like the little sideways looking ass ones that we had to deal with. Speaking of trying to say ass, am I the only one who doesn't like it when people say ah instead of ass? I mean, you either say ass or you don't, you know? That's just how I like to do things. So, okay, so like this. Oh, needs to go in the other way, actually. Okay, so it should be in all correctly now, thankfully. Thought I was alone in that. Thank you. I'm glad you understand that too. Even people that sound like 3 to 4 years younger than me say it, and it bothers me overusing emojis. Right? I swear, Social media algorithm censorship has done irreparable damage to our vocabulary. And I think that needs to change. So I think it's supposed to go in like... No, that's a bit too big. Unless... There we go. There we go. I like to think it's a side effect of brain rot. I'm glad you and I are on the same wavelength for all that. Brain rot, I'm not a big fan of the Italian brain rot meme, because generative AI just freaks me the fuck out. You know? But I am glad to hear the news that AI is starting, the AI bubble is about to burst. I mean, it's not going to go away 100%, like my friend Mass Rider Geist was saying. Yeah, this is going to be a little... Yes, there we go. So, what it wanted us to do was insert it through, like, do like a bit of a swerve type motion. But, it was a little bit difficult, but we did it. Also, I really don't like when people use unalive. Like, I get trying to get by the TikTok and YouTube social media censors and all that, but we really do need to just, you know, take this at face value, you know? And just saying unalive sounds so cringe. It sounds so fucking cringe, man. Because like I said, you either say it or you don't. Or you could be like me and make a creative innuendo for it. Okay. C7 is next. But I think you may be right, Frank. I think you may absolutely be right. Hang on. There we are. But yeah, it also makes me sad, like, to see Fortnite, like, supporting brain rot, you know, because Fortnite's most popular custom island, or whatever it is Steal the Brain Rot, of all things. And I'm like, I don't want to live on this planet anymore. Okay, I see how it forms. Okay, so it inserts here. Oh. Gotta make it so the pegs... There we go. There we go. And we got a nice flush insert right here. Where'd my silver marker go? There it is. Yeah, people who play Fortnite even think the world revolves around Fortnite, right? I mean, the new season, I will admit, is a lot of fun. I like the rival system. It creates a lot of fun shenanigans and chaos. But everything else kind of surrounding that was just not great. I mean, Epic started inflating V-Bucks prices, or just, you know, you get less V-Bucks for the same price as we've had for the past few years. And even worse, they laid off over 1,000 people at their company, and one of which was a father dealing with terminal brain cancer. Here we are. I mean, thanks to the public outcry, Epic is actually working towards getting that fixed. But still, it's awful that they just decided to swing the ban hammer like that, all willy-nilly. Okay, so... So it goes in... Okay, let me look at the instructions here. Time Robo, hold this for me. I was about to say, isn't this the same company that laid off 1,000 people and raised prices so they could collab with The fucking Rock? I know. It is just, ugh, not great. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. So it goes in like this. And how the mechanism works is you slide this. Alrighty, alrighty. We're getting somewhere, we're getting somewhere. So it's incorrectly, so that's good. Next, we gotta... Where does this go? Okay, there we are. This inserts like so. Nice. And then finally the foot goes in like that. They really tried pushing that too. Every time I open your Xbox to get a Fortnite promo, you see Dwayne's face on it or some other character. Yeah. A bit unfortunate, but that's why I kind of been moving more to Marvel Rivals lately. Next up, F7, because they at least care for their players a good bit, and they're actually starting to listen to feedback more, so that's good. F7. And we need to reapply the paint on that a little bit, because I think we kind of messed it up a little. Good. That's good. Next, we need C20, which is a big part right here. Yep, that's it right here. And then... Okay. Excellent. My only gripe with Rivals as someone who's not super into superheroes is the rank and progression feels like Splatoon. Honestly, you're not wrong. I quit playing ranked after Season 3, but I've heard they've done a little bit better lately. Like, for instance, they actually added placement matches after so long. Long overdue, but still. Let's see... There we go. I got the little black here and there. And for a while, it more so based it on your team skill rather than your own personal skill. It was frustrating, to say the least. Okay. Oh, is this in right? Yeah, it should be all in correctly. And there we go. I'm just trying to shave off a little bit of plastic here. Here we are. Okay, so we need to get K2, which is one of the Shadow Blade pieces. Nowadays, I've gotten back into the game on the Switch, and within 5 games, I remember why you only play Salmon Run. Very valid, very valid. Because ranked gets very sweaty very quickly. And I do mean very quickly. Because, yeah, you either get matches that are really good, close, nail-biting stalemates, or they end in a second before you even realize what's going on. No in between. Okay. And then we insert it like here. Yep, we got that in. And we can insert the leg. Okay, gotta make sure everything is evenly aligned. It's something you really need to take care for. See what I mean? Some of these pegs like to be a little bit stubborn, you know? Okay. Okay. Keep that. Okay, almost there. Bingo! We got a leg here. Look at it. Okay, we gotta make sure it's nice and flushly closed. And all in all, looking really, really good. Nice, nice, nice. Next, we need to get these stickers right here. So let's see, we need 7, 9, and 10. Okay, time to get the bent tweezers. Here they are. I would paint them, but unfortunately, they don't have any... It looks good so far? Thank you. Unfortunately, there's no, like, molding in to show off all the cool details and what have you. So, looks like we have no other option but to use the stickers. Because normally I try to do as few stickers as possible, depending on the build. There we go. There we go. Okay. Next, we need 10 for the right side. Yeah, because it's kind of a bummer that they didn't mold, like, the little parts right here. Annoying, really, but... Again, it is what it is. Just get in the grooves for good measure. We need 9. Carefully push this up. Here we are. We got the stickers all in, and this will be for what is going to eventually become the legs of TimeShadow. Glad we got that done. So, now let's go and put this aside, and as we move on to the little robot torso. So, we need to get the sea runner next. I know, my whole desk is a complete and utter mess, and only I know how to navigate it. See what I mean? Anyways, let's see, we need C1, C2, and B8. Here we are. But yeah, outside of streaming and what have you, I'll admit life's been very tricky, to say the least, because ever since November, I had a whole job change that really stressed me out, and while it was good, right now, it's gotten very warm over where I live, and it's kind of made the job a lot more difficult lately. So I'm kind of been back at the job search more than ever. Lurk, dinner should be ready here, and we'll be back soon having pork loin. Ooh, sounds delicious. But thank you for the lurk, I appreciate it. B8. Yeah, life's been pretty tough ever since November. I mean, what between my job and just a complex situationship I'm in with a friend of mine. I'm not gonna say who, but long story short, it's been very challenging after, you know, realizing I broke someone's boundaries. Let's see. What do we got? Okay. Okay. That's how it goes in. Yeah, it's that moment where you try your best to do everything, but they're a little bit reluctant to respond about it. I mean, I'm doing my best to move forward, but even then, sometimes the guilt just overwhelms you, you know? It is not fun at all. Okay, here we are. Okay, got this in. Nice. Okay, next. We need G21, G13, and G9, which is this runner right here. G21. Oh, and this Friday, I am going to be watching the Super Mario Galaxy movie with my friend Sloot, so I am going to be very, very excited about that. Okay, so how does it insert? Okay, so it has to be with the one side of the ridge. Okay, let's hope this works out. Oh, need to sand it down a little bit or shave off some plastic. But yeah, I'm hoping just things work out with my friend in a little bit. Because it's kind of hard to live with the guilt sometimes in some things, you know? Not sure how much anymore I can take. Okay. Next, we need... Okay, we need G9 next. Found it. I get you. I had that moment too, but I usually move on pretty easily since I know that life is full of possibility. Yeah. I mean, on the surface, we're still friends at least. It's just, I mean, we're both conflict avoidant, so I totally get that. But for right now, I'm just gonna move forward, because whenever you have no other option, it's best to move forward and just prepare for when you see them again. Okay. How does it insert? Okay. Okay. So insert this in. Yeah, because for reference, my friend is also autistic as well, so she also deals with a lot of similar stuff I do, like pathological demand avoidance, and it didn't really help either that I was dealing with a lot at the time as well. What with job transitions and... Wait. Did I get the right piece? Ah, son of a bitch, I didn't. But I'm just happy we're still friends for right now. I just need to be careful, I suppose. And I do agree. Life is full of possibilities. I feel I can move forward and be brave, at least. You know, fun little fact about me. Did you guys know I never dated once in my life? I have been a whole single bachelor for all 34 years of my existence. Alright. So, let's see. It wants me to do it. Okay, so with this inside... Okay, I see it. I see it. Here we are, when we got a little torso here. We just need 16 and 17 for the stickers. And then... Yeah, dated 4 times, still single. The 4th was the longest you've dated. Oh, wow, that's impressive. Like, I've had my crushes in the past, and yeah, my whole little friend situationship is a crush I have. But it's weird, you know? You know those feelings where you go from, oh yeah, I'm feeling hopeful, and now I'm feeling the hopeless. I'm kind of flip-flopping back and forth right there. Thankfully, the current crush I have, we're still friends, that I'm having the situationship with. My past crushes I've had weren't so lucky. Yeah, because the first one wanted pretty much nothing to do with me, given how angry her tone of voice was with me back in high school. And the one I had in college, we were getting along well at first, but I'll admit I was foolish and I broke boundaries, and next thing you know, she blocked me at one point everywhere. It was hard, but at least it taught me a lot about why you should take boundaries seriously. Wish a lot of other people on the internet knew that. What's next? G16. Nice. Okay. There we go. Let me get the sanding sponge out really quick just to make sure. Other than that, doesn't look too bad. It is starting to shape up really, really nicely. There we go. Got that in. And now we can insert the... Now we can insert this piece with this leg here. And then... Hold on. I need to sand this. But yeah, I guess part of why I never dated once in my life is I've always struggled with low self-esteem my whole entire life, and it's true to this day. Because I've always struggled at looking myself in the mirror and just my abilities. It's been hard. It was probably because of my upbringing, or because, you know, dealing with a narcissistic father can do shit to ya. Oh, gotta roll up this peg here. Okay, yeah, it's supposed to go in this way. I mean, at least today, I'm learning about being vulnerable to others and being vulnerable at the right moments. Okay, just gotta sand this down a bit more. Okay, it's done. Let's see if we can insert it in. Yeah, it's still pretty thick. Well, it's a good thing we got the sanding sponge. Yeah, it's a bad habit for me to just sand as closely as possible, because I keep forgetting that I'm doing it live for you guys. Okay. Now let's try and see if it works. Yes! Got it in! Yeah, so I want to test the transformation of this for a little bit. Because the way it transforms into the body and the leg is really cool. So, the whole torso piece here rotates around, goes around the leg, and then... I got a feeling this is going to be a tough cookie to get through, isn't it? Hang on. I got the transformation instructions with me. Ah, okay. Okay. There we go. I got it. I got it. And it clips right in, filling the cavity of the leg. But we're not going to go do that. We're going to save that for the end of the stream. Because we got one more leg we need to finish now, don't we? Okay, where is the... There we are. Okay. Now I can move on to the other leg, but let me hydrate first. There we go. So next we need the other and last H pieces, which are on this runner right here. Okay. Not bad. Alright, that's another runner all done. You could say that is the the runner-up. I am sorry, not sorry for the pun, people. Oh, that reminds me. I do want to test the little peg piece here. Yeah, because it's supposed to... Okay, good. It's in... It goes in... The peg goes in correctly. So, what's cool is you can remove this little barrel piece and stow it away in the waist. That way, you get more articulation for the legs. Pretty cool, huh? Like, I always love it when they give you options to be faithful to the original transformation of the deluxe toy, while also giving you options for more articulation. You see, that's what I call legacy preservation right there. Keeping what made the original toy so interesting and charming. Let's see. It goes in like here, just like before. Here we are. And then insert. Okay. Here we go. Next, we need this again. So, time to employ the two-step snip. That's an... Oh, we still need to save this for a little bit. But yeah, with the situationship I have, it's like, we're still friends on the surface, and we still interact with each other, like, on my friend's Discord server. It's just trying to reach out through DMs is a bit of a different story. But I'm gonna let it go for right now. We need to heal, and most importantly, just focus on the future. But I'm glad we're still friends. That's what's important. Okay. Insert this into this. Next, we need G12. Go. Yeah, I'm also looking to do another collab with some of my TokuTuber friends. And not sure where we're going to be streaming, though, which is the tricky part. But I am looking forward to doing some stuff with the TokuTubers. That I am looking forward to. That's the one thing that I absolutely love about being a VTuber over my flesh and blood self. It's much easier to find people within your niche, because I was able to meet so many good tokusatsu friends there. I met Emberlyn, I met Masked Pirate Geist, I met... who else? Let's see, I met Emberlyn, I met Razor Sword Ninja. No, I don't need that runner. B. And C. Here we are. Okay, for the B runner, we need B7. Oh yeah, I met, let's see. Kaijin Lupus was another good friend I met. He's very cool. Even though he is subject to the torture of my puns, guilty's charged. And also my shark autism. You know, it's funny. When I was chatting with one of my friends at an anime convention once, she was talking about, like, how female autistics always start off with shark autism, and the male autistics start with train autism. It's funny, because I actually did grow up with model trains, or with those little wooden train sets growing up. I don't know how they manifest, but they always show up in some shape or form. It's weird. But yeah, I did start with train autism when I was little. And then it grew into, well, mecha autism, which is what I have today. And then I eventually also developed shark autism. I don't know why I find sharks so intriguing. They're silent meatheads, and I love them for that. It's amazing what you can learn about when you go into the TISM mode. One of my friends has shark autism. I'm trying to think who else. Some of my friends also have Transformers autism. Okay, so here we are. Okay, so this. And then... excellent. There we go. And with that, we could get the I-12 peg and finally get done with that gold runner that we have. Which means more space for us to work with. Yay! I need to sand it down a little bit. and sand this peg a little bit too while we're at it. And that gets the barrel done. Next, we need to get... this piece here. And let's sand this peg down a little bit as well while we're here. Okay. So, like so. Always make sure to twist the pegs and swivels a little bit to make sure everything works, people. You may never know what happens. You may never know. Next, get this piece out. Oh, hold on. I see a nib that caused trouble. See. Oh, messed up a little bit, but okay, double check this. Oop. It's funny. As soon as I go in and proofread stuff, next thing you know, I start messing up. Well, I got another cool little story to tell you guys. I should tell you guys about a stalker I had once. So, this was around, what, 4 years ago, and I got to the convention a lot earlier than I had anticipated. So, I decided to go outside the entrance and, or outside of the, you know, registration and just wait it out. And then I came across this guy that was talking to me. He was like, hey, or something like that. And we kind of bonded a little bit for, you know, autism stuff and what have you. And his tone of voice always came off as really weird. Like, we should hang out. Or, you know, that kind, right? I mean, I kind of shook it off initially, and I thought, hey, I should probably fix him and help him. And as time went on, yeah, and I just told him, no, I'm good. I'd rather not hang out with anybody right now. I prefer to be by myself, which is true. When it comes to conventions, I much prefer just being my regular old self. And he was always obsessed with seeing me for whatever reason. And he's always messaged me whenever that's why you should be careful of who you meet. You never know if a stranger that could become very awkward or creepy. And yeah, and turns out he really was awkward and creepy. He was autistic. He was about 2 to 3 years older than me, but he didn't have the mannerisms or, you know, the conscience that I did. And he'd always call me shit like cute and adorable, which made me very uncomfortable. And he'd always comment on my stuff the moment I posted it, even if it was just irrelevant. And didn't help either that when I added him on Facebook, he was very patronizing to some of my friends when I was asking stuff. And like when I was doing research on how to find a good GPU on eBay, And I'm trying to think what else he said. He's like, lol. But that's all I remember. But then, the straw that broke the camel's back for me was around the beginning of 2023. I was enduring him as much as I could, oh, there is one more event that actually happened for me. So, I was ignoring him to the best of my ability, and then one day, he'd say, I'm worthless. I'm like, dude, cut it out. I'm so busy with my life, there's only so much that I can do. And he's like, we should just hang out. And I'm like, no, but you have to earn it. And he was like all pouty and moody and like, I knew you didn't want to hang out with me. Like he was trying to guilt trip me and trying to get with me. But then came February of 2023. I was dealing with a lot of crap at the time, and most notably with TikTok. I left that platform initially after being on it, and the algorithm annihilated my mental health. And when I always said put my goodbye TikTok on my Instagram, you want to know what he commented? He said, you look great. And that was what finally got me to tell him to piss off. And I told him, hey, you're being an absolute creep for this, this, and this. Cut it out. That was pretty much the premise of what I said. And you want to know what happened? Immediately afterward, he blocked me. He blocked me for a few months, and it was the most peaceful that I have ever felt in a long time. And that made me realize that I was happier without him than I was with him. And then a few months later, he tried to get back with me a few months later and unblocked me, and he said, hey, how you doing? On Instagram. And I was like, I do not want to deal with your shit again. And then I decided to block him. Yeah, a narcissist and someone who believes everything should come for free instead of actually earning it. Dude, I have been there my entire life. Because my dad is a narcissist. And it's frustrating, really, that, living under a narcissist your whole life has been the source of all your mental health problems. And it's why I felt vengeance against him for as long as I have. Like, I'm starting to get a little bit better about it and being more emotionally honest. But yeah, after he tried to, clear it off and, try to get with me as if nothing happened, he lost my trust. I blocked him everywhere. I kicked him off my Discord server and decided to be on for... and decided to continue on. Ah, shoot. Sorry about that. Thank you. And I've been living with my parents my whole entire life. Dad included, unfortunately. It's like, I want to stand up to him one day, but the problem is, I really want to be careful and just not raise my voice, because if I do, that gives him encouragement to raise his voice on me. And I do not react very kindly to even the slightest hint of negativity and anger. Because if I feel it, I will start bawling and crying. It's just how I was raised. It's hard, really, when you grow up under a narcissist and you realize that you can't really handle anger as much, let alone yelling. But back to the stalker story I had. So, months pass, everything's going fine, and Thanksgiving came around, and I was just enjoying myself and just going through my Discord servers, yada yada yada. And then he came back on my Discord server and said, Happy Thanksgiving, and then I was like, no, I'm done with him. I decided to ban him from my server and told him, hey, I don't know how you got into my server, but there's a good reason why I blocked you. And I told him, get the fuck out of my sight, you fugly creep. And if I ever see you again, I will tell con officials on you. And yeah, that's the last I ever saw of him. And good riddance to him, I say. I'm a lot happier without him. Okay. So it goes in like this. Unless... Oh, hold on. Yeah, this peg's a bit loose. I think I made the mistake of sanding it a bit too much. Unless it's supposed to go in like... Yeah, it's supposed to go in the other way. God damn it. For a moment, I thought I needed to get some floor polish or some nail polish to tighten up the joint a little. But yeah, back to the sanding board, it looks like... Like, I won't deny I've committed some sins in the past, but at least I learned from it and I have a conscience, even if the emotions do hurt me. Because I'm glad I have a heart, and not like the heartless creeps out there that kind of plague our society these days. Okay, so next... I need to sand this tip of the peg here a little bit. But yeah, that was the story of my stalker. Thankfully, I have never heard or seen him again, and I have been warning people about him. So that way they don't make the same mistake as I did. Excellent. That's all in. Now we need G4. Ha, G4. You guys remember G4 when that was a thing? Like, when the internet was still in its infancy, there were very few video game-focused media, and... Hey, Puffy! Yeah, sins are just a state of mind. It doesn't get you to hell, it makes you learn from your mistakes. Good advice. Very good advice. Hi, Puffy, how you doing today? But yeah, I won't deny I've committed some sins, but I won't let myself or anyone else make those same mistakes as I did. But yeah, I've just been through a lot of complex situations and just... Okay, that's all fitted in. But how you doing today? Just shining hunting in leaf green? Nice, nice. Let's see. Okay, so now's the part where we need C8 and C6. Okay, here we are. Okay, here we are. We need to get the pure black marker in just a little bit. But we need to get this piece next. But I'm at least learning from my mistakes, and I got people to talk to about the stuff I'm facing. Even if others aren't as receptive to me. Here we are. But yeah, for right now, I am building the TimeShadow Megazord right now, and I'm almost done with it. Okay, pure black. Here we go. And let's get this piece too while we're at it. There we go. And then got that done. Next up, we need to... What's first? Okay, we got the peg in here. And then... Okay. This is going to be another tricky insert. Oh! And tricky insert completed! Yay! Okay. There we go. Okay, next up, we need to put this into here. And then where is the thruster piece? Bingo! There it is, there it is. You know, speaking of fire red and leaf green, I should tell you guys the story of the very first shiny that I ever found. And I was the one that didn't find it. So, I let my older sister play my Pokemon Fire Red for a little bit. And just, you know, let her run around, catch Pokemon, etc., etc. And until she came up to me and said, hey, this Oddish is green. And I'm like, oh my god, it's a shiny Pokemon! I need to catch it! And needless to say, I was able to catch it because thankfully she had my Scizor out at the time. Okay. Excellent. Okay, we got that done. Okay, so we need to put it in like this. Okay. And the first shiny I ever found was when I was just getting my Pokemon to level 100 in Viridian Cave or whatever it was. And I found a shiny Primeape. Yeah, I named the shiny Oddish Emerald, and I named my shiny Primeape Fudge, because he reminded me of Fudge at the time. Next, we need, okay, F24 and C21. So we're almost at the end, guys. The shiny Lucario, my favorite Pokemon, is Lucario due to D&D logic. Kind of looks like it and represents the Swedish flag. Ooh. Now that you mention it, you're absolutely right. You know, it does remind me of one of my old VTuber friends, Sky Obsidian. She was one of my earlier VTuber friends I met during my FleshTuber days, but we kind of lost contact years ago. Last I checked, she's doing not safe for work content over on Blue Twitch. But... and I also heard she moved out of state, but all I could say is, I wish her the best of luck. I mean, she's making good bank out of making Gooner content, I will say that. Okay, what's next? Oh, yeah, the last bit. Yeah, your first shiny was an Emerald in the post-game, was on the way for another the other fossil, and ran into a shiny Ditto. Ooh, shiny Ditto. Nice. That's actually a really good find right there. I remember my best friend Helios, when he was playing Pokemon X, he found a shiny Spinda. Just need to shave off the plastic a little bit. Okay, that shaves off all the excess plastic right now. And then we can insert this. Okay, align everything. It's always a challenge shimmying everything in there. But here we are. We got another leg all done. Now we just need to get the stickers on. Bent tweezers, time to do your magic. Here we go. Here we are. And looking pretty good. Okay, next up, we need to get the long and the short sticker done. Oop. You know, make sure everything is at the... Careful. Oop. Here we are. And just firmly put this on. Firmly grasp it, I should say. Anywho. Here we are. Another leg all taken care of, baby. Okay, that concludes the stickers for right now. Now we need to get the other torso piece in. Okay, so 31. We need a few bits from the Sea Runner. Okay. It's this stuff right here. Oh, can't forget this either. Yeah, this piece right here is going to be pretty darn important, I will say. Okay. Putting that out. Okay, that concludes everything on this runner. Oh, I do want to at least work the mechanism a little bit. There we go. At least I got that inserted. Okay. So, let's get the pegs here all... Oh, hold on. Okay, everything looks all right here. Okay, so we need to do it with this little part facing outwards. And then insert this little slip out peg. Yeah, because it needs to have this little piece so that way you could take it out with you have your fingernail out. And then take this off the B runner. Okay. Next, we need to make it so... Oh, it's on the wrong way. Okay. Okay, so it's starting to look pretty good. Okay, next up we need this piece here. And then get this piece out too. Okay, so it has to be with this. Okay, this looks pretty good. Let me test this out really quick, because I want to make sure that the peg is in the right end. Wiggle out. Yeah, it's in all good. It's in the right end. Okay, all good. Next. Insert this and just shimmy it in. Okay, we're almost done here, people. Where'd my tweezers go? I put them away prematurely, didn't I? So, the cool thing about both the Time Robo and the TimeShadow is they give you option stickers. So, you get stickers like this, which are similar to how the original deluxe toy was, and these stickers down here, which are more show accurate, which I think is really cool. I opted for the more toy accurate ones because I wanted to be at least faithful to the original toy that I grew up with. But yeah, I always love it when they're so thoughtful like that. So they give you options on how you want to display it. One more sticker and we'll be all done with that. Here we are. Nice! It is looking really, really good. Okay. We're almost done here, guys. I can almost feel it. All right. That runner's all done. There's just so many little runners and gates, oh my. Okay. And let's get back to it, shall we? I want to sand down the little tiny ball joints a little bit. Oops. I think I messed that up a little. You see, this is why you start off with coarser sandpaper first, and then you work your way down. That way you can carefully take it out over time. Okay. Awesome. Oh yeah, I need to sand that part down too. But we are very, very close to getting done, my friends. Very, very close. Let's sand this peg down a good bit too while we're at it. Okay. Next, insert this. Hope it fits. Nope. Still a bit on the tight end. Yeah, like I said, the downside with model kits is you're the QA tester, and you gotta make sure you're the one that makes sure everything fits in correctly, doesn't break. And for some instances, it's kind of hard to tell. Yes! All in, baby. Now we can insert this into the... Oh, I do want to test things a little bit. Add it. How do these transform? Okay, so they lift up. So the foot end lifts up. Yeah, I do want to make sure everything works at least, but we can insert these underneath TimeShadow. Here we are. Oh, it's... Oh, I put it on the wrong way. God damn it. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. There we go. Oh, I knew I was forgetting something. I forgot the other Shadow Blade. So this inserts like so. And here is the completed TimeShadow. But we are not done yet, people. We are not done yet. We still got one more component, and it's the big sword gun that it has. So we need J3 and J1 first before anything else. Good. Okay, so they go in like this. We need K1 for the blade. Here we are. Oh, can't forget that part here. Okay, so it goes in like this. The blade comes... Yeah, I see where it goes. So there's these little grooves here, and that's where the blade is gonna go. Next, we need J1, which is the little handle. Okay, so it needs this little piece here pointing outwards. Okay, yeah, I see why they needed to have it out. Next is J2, which is this piece right here. What side does it need to be facing? Okay, okay. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Here we go. So we do need to do quite a bit of painting on this. Now we need the... Oh, we need to get the barrel too. In you go. In you guys go too. Okay, big peg with little peg. Oh, before we do any of that, we need to paint these. Because normally they require the stickers, but we're too cool for stickers, to be honest. Nice. Good, good, good. Oh! You're not going anywhere, buddy. You're not going anywhere. Nice. Okay, this will be ready to put into the sword. Nice. Looking pretty darn good, if I do say so myself. Okay. Okay, so... There we are. We got the barrel of the gun done. But we got one more to need to do, which is this one. And with that, all of the parts are used. Every single one of them. We need to do a little bit of painting here, and we'll be done. Okay, that concludes that bit. Now Big peg into little peg. Nice. Now we just need to paint the insides of this. So this is going to be the gun sword for it. Pretty cool, isn't it? So we need to use the sticker sheet here for reference. Oh, that reminds me. We need to paint the barrel here. For anything. Yeah, get a nice coat of metallic silver on here. Yeah. Hold on. you're right. My mic was muted for a little bit. Sorry about that. But yeah, it's all done here, guys. So here's TimeShadow in all of his glory. But anyways, now that this is done, we can pack everything up and scout someone out to raid, shall we? Yeah, I had my mic muted because my mom was coming up to me. So let's go and... But yeah, it looks awesome. I do agree. It looks beautiful. Anyways, let's go. And I think I know exactly... Never mind, didn't want to do that. Where's my friend Rika? Rika. Risa Cupcake. There we are. But anyways, guys, I will be back with you all probably on Tuesday when I'm going to stream Deadlock with these guys. So I will be back, but you all stay sharp. You all have fun. Excited to showcase you all more of the kit. And I will do with you all later. You guys are like Rika. She's very sweet. Fuck. Where'd it go? There it is. Oh, missed one. Frick. There we go. Stop fiddling. Okay, here we are. Did you order pizza? Whoa. Sorry about that.
This was just supposed to be like a test run of like, is everything working properly? Seems like everything's working properly. And it works extremely. It's beautiful. So. Ow. Bonk. I guess I have been bonked. I don't know why I've been bonked. Open a good noodle.
Onigai.